something fun to talk about.
We're
You are live right now. Look at you.
We're live. Green room. Green room.
Green room. Green
Oh,
room.
we
Oh.
should have a paid membership where people, if they want to, can join us in the green room and hear
On
all the
my
crazy crap we talk about before we get started.
on my send out cards trading, Donna Pickens, who's always listening, she said that she wishes she could subscribe to the green room.
We need to make it a membership thing on the green room, not on the regular thing. I want everybody to be able to access us for free.
I told them that I make sure to say something very provocative just before we go on, just to try to embarrass you.
She does. It's her goal in life is to make me blush, and I think that's bad. I can't tell who the Facebook
It's
is.
fabulous.
Put your name there where it says hi there. Put your name. So, hi back. There's Kim. I see
it's
Kim's
Kim.
name.
Kim's on.
Kim is back this week. We've been missing Kim.
Hey, did you know Kim also said, and there's June and Teresa, Kim said that did you see that post where my mother put her purse in the urinal?
Yes.
Kim said she did it too. Kim did it too at a portalette. It's like, no! My mother was so surprised. I pulled over the car when she told me she did it. And I said, just throw your purse out the window. Just throw it out. Please. Just
let it go.
Let it go. Because she didn't understand what had happened. Oh, yes. I hope I'm a little naughty. Kim said I'm naughty. I hope I'm a little naughty.
You're at least a little naughty.
You know what I'm thinking, though? I'm driving a minivan. I mean, I never wanted to be a minivan driver. But if I'm going to drive a minivan, I have to have some edginess to me. So
it's true.
Right.
By the way, those of you that are saying hi to us, hi back. A lot of these just say Facebook user, so if you can stick your name in there, we'll know to call you by name. Otherwise, when the show's over, I get in there and I still say hi back to you, and then I can see your name.
Yeah,
anyway, we love you guys.
Oh, Peg.
I have to tell you the funniest story, like your mom's purse in the urinal story. I had for a short period of my life, I had the sweetest little step grandmother. Her name was Marie. I won't say her last name, but she was just as sweet as she could be. But she was also somewhat naive. It's just like that. And we were at a sporting goods store. You know, because I think I was in June.
This has something to do with the jockstrap, doesn't it?
Don't get ahead of me. I think I was probably in the 9th grade when this happened, somewhere around that time. Anyway, and she was taking me to the place. I think I was getting some tennis shoes, Converse All-Stars. That's how old I am. But anyway,
of course.
I walk around, and I look at her. I come around the aisle, and she's standing there, and she has one of the athletic supporter cups.
AKA jockstrap, AKA, yeah.
No, not the strap, just the thing that's loaded in the strap.
The cup. Okay.
This is way too much information for the group tonight. Anyway, I walk around the corner. She's got it up here. Oh no! Like it's a snorkel thing. And she's saying, "What is this nose thing for?" I walked up to her and I smiled. And I gently took it out of her hand. I went, "Grandma, let me have that." And I put it down, and then I told her what it was. You think I turn red when you embarrass me? Oh, it was bad.
That is an awesome story. Why haven't I heard that before? That's awesome.
Well, because for whatever reason, the electricity hit that one brain cell that contained that one memory, and I went, "Oh, there it is." Isn't it funny how that
happened? Lori says, "Loved my Converse All-Stars. I was hip, so were you."
Absolutely.
There you go.
Absolutely. And it's so funny if you ever see those shoes anymore, the padding on the bottom is maybe this thick. It's tiny. And so you're coming out, every game you play, you're coming out with bruises on your heels.
Oh, geez.
Laurie understands.
So I have something awesome. It's early still, but I have something awesome. It's a teaching thing. Do you want me to go there already or no?
We can teach, but we have some celebrating to do this week.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
you want to make it? Well, of course, we've told everybody anyway. They probably already know.
You do it. You're
We
so good
cannot
at
keep
it.
a secret.
Oh, and hey, wait a minute. I'm still mad at you because on the Go Giver call yesterday, I was so sure that someone else was going to say something. I was off the hook. Just as I'm sitting there going, "Oh, good, I'm off the hook." You say,
Lisa will do it. My partner will do it.
I'm like, oh, and that man, you're infuriating, man.
No. I just want, when in that particular group, and we both love that group death, but sometimes I feel like I talk too much, and I wanted you to be in the spotlight, so that's why I did that.
But I'm still intimidated a little bit, even though they're almost all friends of mine. I don't
Everybody in there loves you. Why would you be? You don't need to be intimidated by anything.
I'm like that. You know, I'm like that. What can I tell you?
Well, after all, you got blue hair. What's anybody gonna think?
Right. Did you know I had somebody tell me today? Not this one, but I had somebody tell me today. He said, he said your hair is like blue cotton candy. Okay. Right. And he said, normally what do you say? Normally only crazy chicks have blue cotton candy hair, but it's working for you.
Did he really say that?
And of course I immediately died and he didn't know why I was laughing so hard. Oh my God. Oh God. Peg said, get over yourself. Lisa Wilber, she's right. She has to give me a pep talk when we go to stuff. It's sad. It's sad, really.
But happy anniversary, Jeff.
What's your anniversary? Is it your anniversary?
No.
Okay. I don't know either. Lisa needs the practice. Let her announce it. No, I don't need the practice. Matter of fact, Peg gives me hell every time we go somewhere together because she wants me to say stuff all the time. But you know why I don't? I'll tell you why I don't. Right. When I went to all these Avon meetings over all these years, 40 years, and we go to these meetings and there's people that employees are there. What the frig are you doing?
If I can distract you while you talk.
There's employees there and they're looking to have be seen by their boss. So they talk too much and they raise their hand when they should just be shutting up just to have face time with their boss. And that used to be so annoying to me. I'm like, I don't need that. I can just sit here and attend this meeting without raising my hand just to be seen, even though I don't have anything relevant to say. Because they would raise their hand without anything relevant to say, just to be seen by their boss. And that always aggravated me so bad that I almost never raise my hand when I'm in a meeting anymore, because I want to make sure I'm being relevant to the meeting. So I guess I was traumatized. That's the upshot of it.
So basically what you're saying is doing that particular kind of thing doesn't work for you.
It doesn't work for me. This is relevant, Lisa Wilber. Yeah, Peg said, make the announcement. Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay, we'll do. And by the way, whoever that person was that says happy anniversary, Jeff, thank you so much. I have no idea what the anniversary is. So go ahead if you want to tell me. But anyway, yes, this week we got some great news. As a matter of fact, I got the email about the time I signed on to my writing class with John David Mann, so it was appropriate that I got it then. But we got the email that said the lady with the blue hair has received another award. It's the finalist with the National Indie Excellence Awards, and that's a pretty big deal. So we were pleased with that.
That's a round of applause.
It's a round of applause. I'm doing it more like I'm beaming up or something anyway.
Beaming up, round of applause, jazz hands.
But also, that same day, I wasn't paying attention. I don't know what you did, but I'm afraid to ask. So, but that same day, we also someone on their blog, it was DMS Quick Fix, I think is the name of the company.
Yes.
They put their stuff looked very good. They put out good information for their clients, but they had said the lady with the blue hair is the best book for business startups for the year that they'd read. And so that was a very kind compliment and honor. So we thank
absolutely. I love that. And you know, I didn't tell you this and I should have, but you know, that graphic that I made that has her quote
right
from that and has the other award on it. I got to thinking, I can put other quotes there too.
You can what?
Put other quotes where her quote is.
Sure, you can do anything
So
you
when
want.
I have right, so because I think the more people we highlight, the better it is for everybody.
Yep, I agree.
So if
I agree.
anybody
And
wants a graphic with their particular quote about our book that they can spread around, I can do that for you. Peg.
by the way, thank you, Peg. I saw your compliment there about the interview with Bill Ellis.
Bill.
Bill is such a good guy, and it was an honor to be on his show. It just uh,
Except you tried to do an impression of me.
I didn't do a very good one either. It wasn't a good one. I was trying to explain to him how of course the process that got started on the book, and I was trying to do my best
No,
Lisa
you know what
Wilber
it was?
impression.
You know what it was?
If you
Is
if you
we
ever
had
want to start being quite so judgmental in your life, dye your hair blue. This is
we
working for me.
we divvy up parts of the story, and now you know how I feel when I try to tell your part.
And I like to hear you tell it. So there's some
Oh, I
stories
tell
I
it
tell
so
myself because I like the way I tell it.
I just told someone that story tonight, actually, because
Yeah,
whenever anybody says, "Why is your hair blue?" I'm telling the origin story.
there you go.
So
And
there
tell
you
them to
go.
buy the book and buy 10 or 15 copies for their friends and family.
Oh, Penny said she's so proud of both of us, and you're going to win many, many more awards. Oh, thank you. Penny just made. I'm going to share this. I just was out and I didn't get a chance to yet. She made this awesome video of Alex's graduation.
Oh,
And
wow.
it's so awesome. It includes the whole thing and a whole bunch of pictures that she got. And she does that for like a thing, like a
Yep.
side hustle. So anybody that wants that, she'll make them one. And that's Penny Price. So that is awesome. I
We have
love the one
such
she made
nice
for us.
people in this group. We really
Yes,
do.
absolutely. Oh, Eunice is on too.
Eunice is on.
Anniversary with the squirrels.
Was
What's
that
that?
you, Eunice, that said anniversary with the squirrels? Eunice, I don't know what to say to that. Every now and then, well, I'll just tell you the truth. I love squirrels.
Oh, you do
It's in
not.
gravy. So,
Oh,
actually, I haven't eaten squirrel since I was a kid, but
oh,
my
you are
grandmother
wrong,
used to
man.
actually fix squirrel. Prepared squirrel. It tastes like chicken, kind of.
Oh God, you're wrong.
Doesn't everything?
Kathy says howdy from Virginia. Oh, you're wrong, squirrel man. So let's talk about the teaching thing,
Let's do
which
it.
is awesome. Hey, there there is what is it? A statue in this room. Look at this. What the heck?
Oh my word!
I don't know what the I don't know why that's
I've,
in
I've seen
here.
statues in museums like in Italy, like in Florence, and they're
Okay.
all
Yeah, I don't know
unusual
why
like
that's there.
that.
Okay, so the teaching thing. This is I realized I hadn't told you this too. I heard this thing early on. You can tell me whether this is crazy or not.
Yes.
I heard this I'm sure you will. Yeah. I heard this thing early on and I realized when I first heard it I was being delusional. I realize that now. But when I first heard it, it said what the thing said was act like the person in the position that you want to be in.
Right.
And early on, I didn't realize what was involved in the position, but I wanted to be the first. Everybody, don't laugh. Don't judge me. I wanted to be the first Avon representative CEO of the company.
There you go.
And I didn't know that that was a lot more involved, obviously, and you had to go to Yale or whatever, Princeton. Anyway, I was sitting there all naive thinking that was a possibility. But it didn't matter because it worked in my favor. Because I thought to myself, it said, act like you already have the job.
Right.
So I would think things like this is something I actually did is when I made senior executive unit leader, which was top of the pay plan in Avon US, I thought to myself, there's so few people making it. I'm surprised that either the president of the US business or the CEO or somebody doesn't just give you a quick call. And then I thought to myself, I don't have to wait for them to do it. The next person that makes it, I'm going to make the call.
Yep.
And because I was known enough by then, people were thrilled to get a call from me. It was awesome. And then I switched to doing, I did star teddy bears from Vermont Teddy Bear that had the star sunglasses. So when somebody made it, even if they weren't my downline, I sent them a teddy bear from Vermont Teddy Bear because the reason I did that is because that's what I wanted.
Mhm.
I wanted somebody to send me something really cute like that I would love forever. and have it. And matter of fact, who has mine? I don't have my own. It was at some point where I said, why didn't I send myself one? Because I was the one that always wanted it, and I sent myself one. And then they stopped making those at Vermont Teddy Bear, and I ended up giving mine. Molly Stone Bibb was on a stage. This is before I knew her real well, and she had known that I gave her upline one, and she said she worked hard trying to make senior so she could have one of those bears. And I heard the story. I didn't know her then. I heard the story and I sent her the one I had. So I actually don't have one anymore. But to me, it's this why I'm sharing this isn't because I want you to go, oh, that's nice. It's because if you act like the person that you want to or what you wanted to have happen to you,
Right.
it's like sending good karma out in the world. Because now Molly's one of my best friends.
Right.
So I'm glad that I was able to do that for her. And I didn't have any idea that she really thought that was so awesome because I did it for her upline. And I really started doing the whole thing, making the calls and the whole thing, just because I wanted that done for me. And I wasn't really willing to sit here and say, why isn't the company doing that? The company ought to be doing that. It got to the point where I said, you know what? It doesn't matter if the company's doing it. I'm going to do that or a version of that.
Right.
I'm going to do it myself. And sometimes it took a lot of work to get the person's contact information because this was years ago, of course. So they didn't have whitepages.com. I had to call around and find out who made it and their number and stuff. But I think for a lot of people, it did make a difference when I called them. Right. They always seemed very happy about it.
Well, that there's a couple of things I'll say about that. That's a wise thing for everybody in our audience. That is such a good way to live your life, but it's also a really good business strategy. The one thing that I always believed in that nature was you have to do exactly what you just said because it's a way to advance your career level. Like with Aflac. When I interviewed to get the promotion from a district manager to a regional manager, when I was in for that interview, one of the first questions that the state sales coordinator asked me was, well, why do you think you're the right person for the job? And I'd already been doing the job of a regional. I had a great regional sales coordinator that I worked with, but I was already doing the job. And because the way that structure was, if you were going to be a regional sales coordinator, if you're a district sales coordinator, your job was to produce successful agents, to go out with them, teach them what to do so they could go make a living and be very successful. If you were a regional sales coordinator, your job was to produce good district sales coordinators that were successful at doing that. And so when I interviewed for the position of regional sales coordinator, he says, why do you think you're the right person for the job? And I said, well, right now you've got 6 really good district sales coordinators that all started with me.
Oh.
And so I had already been thinking like that and training them like that and getting them ready and encourage them to take the promotion, even though they weren't going to be under me anymore. And so I did that. And then when it became a state, it was a similar process. And so it's a great way to be thinking about things. And it makes you do better at your job, but it also makes you get noticed. The other thing I'll say about the whole conversation is I still think you and I should find the money and buy Avon.
You know, it was funny. Speaking of that, you made me think of another thing. So when I was early on in this, I got offered 2 jobs, and one of them was an employee for Avon, and one of them was an employee for Fuller Brush, which is another direct sales company. And I went to the Avon. They used to call it an SLO, and I don't even know what that stood for, but it was like a test where they were seeing if you were leadership material. And it's so funny because at that time, what the end test was, they said, now that you've spent the day doing all these exercises with all the people, I want you to write down on this piece of paper who among you think is the best candidate for the job. Well, hell, I put myself. I was the only one that put myself because I thought to myself, and I was 20 something at that time, but I thought to myself, if I didn't think I was the right one for this job, I wouldn't have sat here all day. I wouldn't have been here all day. And I was the only one that did that. So I was trying to think of what they were thinking. Like, what are you all thinking? Why are you here if you don't think you're the right one for the job? But that was funny.
It'd be like running for a political office, and when you go into the voting booth, you don't vote for
Well, for
yourself.
yourself,
That's just
right,
crazy.
right. And you know what? I didn't end up working for Avon as an employee. I did work for Fuller Brush for about 6 months and realized that was a mistake.
You're like me, Lisa. You're not
No,
really
I have to look
necessarily
it up.
designed to work for someone else.
No, I have
I
to work
I
myself.
I did it for a while, but for for 30 years now, I've actually been self-employed.
No, full oh, go ahead, sorry.
And the reason I'm self-employed is because I'm probably not a good employee. I always tell people I'm much better shaving the boss's face than kissing the boss's. And that's not, I've been asked if I would interview for vice presidents of sales with some companies, and I thought about it, and if it were the right situation, I might still do it someday. But I thought about it, and I thought I probably wouldn't be the best choice because they'd have somebody above me that was half my age that didn't necessarily think like I thought, and they'd say, "Well, you're going to do this," and I'd say, "I don't think so, Sparky."
It's Sparky. So listen. So when I worked for Fuller Brush, the 6-month thing. Oh, and I was sitting there. I was so broke. I was so broke. I don't even know how to tell you how broke I was. And my mother's like, "You better take anything that's offered to you because you're so broken. You're borrowing money." I was borrowing money from her, and she's like, "You better take anything." And she was there that day, but the boss. I was on some conference call. The boss swore at me. And it was over something stupid. It wasn't over something. He swore because I wouldn't run blind ads in the newspaper. In my opinion, Fuller Brush is a big name. If it's not known, we should make it known that it's a logo. We should make that. And he said, you have to run blind ads. And when I wouldn't, he was swearing at me on the call. And I actually said, who in the do you think you are? I'm not working for someone that's willing to talk to me like that. And hung up. And my boss right above me, between the two, she actually called me on the phone and said, if you call him and apologize right now, I might be able to get your job back. And my mother was there and she knew I needed the money. And I said to that lady, I said, I'm not sure who you think I am, but no one talks to me like that. I don't care how broke I am. I have some self-esteem. Thank you. And I hung up on her and I shipped back everything they'd ever given me, every scrap of paper. And that actually made me recommit to my direct sales business with Avon though. So that worked out fine. It's just funny that I'm glad that I drew a line in the sand and would not take that treatment over the money. I'm glad that I made that decision, but it was rough. I was so poor.
Did you say it was your boss that swore at you, or it was the potential?
The boss's boss, and she thought it was all right.
No.
So, you know what's funny though? I keep in touch with everybody. Not the boss's boss. I don't keep the one that swore at me now. He's on FU Island, but the the boss that I had, right? She's she actually is in my database still, and I send her cards still.
Well, that's good. Here's my thoughts about things like that. Number one,
Awesome.
if you're swearing at people who are in your organization that are
reports, that's not good. They shouldn't be swearing at anybody.
No, they shouldn't be. And my opinion is that shows a lack of leadership. And as far as people like that are concerned, hell with them.
Right. No. I mean, it's not right for anybody, including me. And that's a bad example to set if I was to take that kind of treatment and not say anything.
Yep.
Right.
I have to. I will tell you. I went back when I was in the industrial uniform industry.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very blue collar industry, very difficult at times. And I had a guy call in. I was general manager for the first location we ever had in Texas, and the guy had called in, and my administrator who worked for me. She comes in and she says, you got to take this call. I said, what's going on? And she told me, and the guy had just cussed her out. I mean, she has nothing to do with anything. He'd had an issue on the route and he literally
That's not right.
cussed her out. And so I got on the phone and I said, hello? And he said, well, who he was? I said, okay. I said, I'm going to have a conversation with you and I'm going to get your problem fixed. But before I do, you're going to get on the phone with my administrator who had absolutely nothing to do with this. She's a very nice lady. And you're going to apologize to her for your language and how you were an absolute jerk. and then we'll
Good.
talk. If you're not willing to do that, I'm gonna have my guy pick up your uniforms tomorrow, and you won't have any."
Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's
And he
good. I'm
said,
glad you stood up for her. That's awesome.
well, he got really quiet. And he said, "You know what? You're exactly right. If you'll put her on the phone, I'll apologize." And he
Yeah,
did. And
because that
we got his issue fixed, and it wasn't the thing. But
and
he
we
was
shouldn't put up with that kind of treatment because it's not even productive. It's
no,
not helpful.
no,
And we shouldn't put up with that kind of treatment. But it is hard. It's hard when you're broke. It's hard when you're broke to draw the line in the sand and say, you know what, I'd rather be broke than get treated like this. But that's hard to do when
yep,
you're broke. But I just thought to myself, I'd rather live in my car than
right.
let somebody treat me like that. It was just so awful. Lori says, you and Molly are regular, real people. I'm 17 years in Avon. I've never had an upline and found you both so helpful. And you know what? Her and I both agree on this so much is that it doesn't matter if you have an upline or not. She has a good one, and I actually don't have one at all. And we want to make sure we're setting an example that it doesn't matter. It's what you do. It's how you. If
Right.
you don't have a leader, go ahead and be one.
Yep,
Be a good leader. If you don't have
absolutely.
one, that's what we do.
Someone had typed in when someone asked her during a job interview she said, asked her if I have any questions for them. She said, I stood up and said, when do you want me to start? That's a good
That's
question.
a good one. That's a good one.
I can't tell who said that. It might be Eunice, but anyway, I can't tell who said that.
That's a good one. And Lori says, kudos, Jeff. That does not happen today for a long time. Support of your support staff. Right. And see that's why you're a good leader is because you do back up your support staff. That's awesome.
No, I treat people the way I would want to be treated. So
And that's the theme for tonight, isn't it really?
I'm not perfect at it by any stretch, Lord
Oh, well, no,
knows.
me either. Me either.
But I do try that. And I met a guy named Dr. Tony Alessandro.
Oh, I know who that is.
You know Tony?
Yes,
Uh,
yeah.
I was sitting with him at dinner one night at a National Speakers Association thing. He wrote a book called The Platinum Rule, or at least he coined the term the Platinum Rule.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, you've heard the Golden Rule, treat other people the way they want to be treated. No, treat other people the way you want to be treated. And he said, but the Platinum Rule is treat the other people the way they want to be treated. I thought that was a brilliant thought process. And so I try to do that. Lord knows I'm not perfect at it, but
Oh, well, no, but if we're all at least heading in that direction,
yeah.
Respect. Patty Rubido's on. Hey, Patty.
Patty was the one who said that. Patty, that was brilliant.
Patty's on my Team Time Tuesday every week, I think. She's very, very good about that.
You've got nice people that follow you everywhere. This is a good thing.
Despite being partners with you, right?
It hasn't held you back.
Oh, we're naughty. Yeah. None of us are, Jeff. Perfection is the dangling carrot, something to strive for. That's true. That's why I love the bank methodology. We find out how others want to be treated.
There you go.
And you know what? And the reason I even want to tell that whole story about the bear and calling people on the phone is because that was a self-appointed thing. And the only reason I thought about it is because, do you know, when I meet somebody new on the Go Giver, I'm sending them a Welcome to the Go Giver Success Alliance card. I made one, but I thought I'm not going to wait and see if someone else is doing that. I'm just going to self-appoint myself to be the one that welcomes everybody because I just don't bother to ask anymore. I just do what I think somebody should be doing. And I think worst case scenario, if somebody's already doing it, then there's two of us. They get two cards. Yay.
It's all good. It's all good.
Oh, Patty's having the brownies. I sent her brownies because
what kind of brownies did you send?
No, they weren't that kind. What the hell, man? What the hell? No. Oh my God. You're okay. No, what I'm doing is I think these things through. My only assistant left in my office. I had 3 at one point, 2 part-times and a full-time. My full-time went part-time because she's 68. She's been working for me 25 years. And I know at some point she's going to say, well, you know what? I'm done.
She's been working for you.
It's been working for me. So I'm trying to find ways to do the things she does automated. So in send out cards, I made a door prize card and I'm sending brownies. Normally I send Avon stuff and she packages it up and ships it for me. So when I have to make the transition, I'm all set to go.
Yep.
So that's what we're doing. But we're already at time. Holy
Well,
crap.
one more quick thing.
Please.
Everybody who watches this, if you want to treat Lisa the way Lisa wants to be treated, or me the way I want to be treated, go on to Amazon and post a review of the book.
You and your review. But we're up to 60. We're up to 60.
We are, and we appreciate
Yay!
every single one. A rating, a couple of
That's
3
awesome.
lines as a review, just anything that you can do. But getting us over 100 reviews is going to be huge, and
Yeah.
it's already helping. The book is growing, and there's a lot of good things happening. And
Oh,
but
posted yesterday. Yay! Thank you.
thank you.
Thank
As
you.
soon as
Yeah,
we
and you don't even if you just put stars and you don't feel like saying something, or even if you say something short, it
yeah
actually helps us.
yeah
And I think we're actually I feel like we're getting more momentum lately than we've had, especially with the award and especially with that being
yeah
on that book list as number one. It
yeah.
seems like it's continuing to
That
snowball.
that should happen for the rest of our lives. It's just
Yeah.
that the message is that strong, the book is that good. So and the people, it's word of mouth, and we have so many wonderful people that are a part of this launch and part of this group since then, and sharing it. Everybody post it, share it, do everything that you want to do. But we appreciate you so much.
Oh,
Uh,
and Peg has got to be like our number one fan. I think I sold an Audible today. Peg is so
Thank
awesome.
you, Peg.
Thank you, Peg. And Peg's going to the Avon convention in DC. We're trying to talk Jeff into it. He doesn't even look at it. He doesn't even want to hear it. But you would be such a hit at the
If
thing.
Avon would let us have a room to sign books, I'd be there in a heartbeat with you.
Well, we'll be able to sign books. We just can't sell them on the spot.
Okay, if Avon would let us sell them and sign them, I would be there with you in a
You're going to
heartbeat.
come up
I
with
may
all these
still
things
anyway.
that I can't do. That's what you're doing.
Send me the details again. I may try to get up there, but we need to.
Molly wanted to know if she
quite
could
frankly,
call
I'm
it.
just a little bit. That's not. I'm not going to say that because that would be unprofessional of me. So yeah, I wish Avon would let us.
Molly was considering calling and begging you, and I'm like, he
It doesn't work with me.
right, right.
I just start laughing when you do that.
As I well know, right?
All right,
Not
everybody.
that I begged for stuff from you really well. Anyway, National Harbor, be there, Jeff West, or be square.
You begged for me to leave you alone about the audiobook.
Oh, and when you tell the story about the audiobook on Bill, you were hilarious because you make it sound all nice and warm and fuzzy. You didn't
Well, it
tell him
was.
how I told you to F yourself.
Well, it wasn't your comfort zone, and you made the mistake. You made the correct judgment of that, telling me to go ahead and direct you like a director would, and it went really well. You were out of your comfort zone. You rose to the occasion. The book is really good. The audio book is really good. It gets better and better as the chapters
The
move on.
funnest part was I can't understand how understanding you are. When I told you to literally go F yourself, you text me back and just said, let's regroup and come back in an hour. I couldn't believe you just didn't tell me to F myself.
No.
That's a very patient man. You're a very patient man.
I'm glad you think so, and I do try to be, but I have at least one spouse who would say that's not necessarily the case.
Oh,
And I don't mean to have multiple spouses. I'm not talking about that.
Yeah, you guys all make fun of me. He's had two, so there you go.
That's right. I have.
There you go. Well, we better get going. It's already 33.
All right.
It's already
Thank you, guys.
33.
We love you all. Enjoy your week, and we will see you next week.
Thank you very much, everybody. I'm doing some auditions today. I don't know. Love you so much. He's not saying nothing. Look, he's red. He's red. Okay, goodbye, everybody.